When we analyze the cinema of Steven Spielberg, the immediate instinct is to focus on the external spectacle, the towering dinosaurs, the descending motherships, or the sharks patrolling the coastline. These are the macro elements that define the modern blockbuster. However, if we strip away the special effects and apply a formalist lens, we find that the true engine of his storytelling is not what occurs in front of the characters, but specifically how the camera treats the characters themselves. Formalism dictates that the form of the film, lighting, framing, and movement constructs meaning independent of the plot. In Spielberg's oeuvre, one formal technique rises above all others as a signature stylistic autograph. It is the slow camera push-in on a character's face, often referred to as the Spielberg Face. This shot is the psychological anchor of his visual language. The thesis here is clear. Spielberg's style is defined not by the spectacle itself, but by his reliance on this reactive gaze. It serves as an empathetic bridge, forcing the audience to experience awe or terror synchronously with the protagonist. To understand the mechanics of this device, we must look at how Spielberg blocks the scene. He frequently denies the audience the reverse shot immediately. We see the reaction before we see the cause. In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, consider the visual treatment of Roy Neary. The camera tracks in, effectively eliminating the peripheral environment. The background blurs and the world narrows down to a pair of wide eyes. This is a formalist manipulation of time and space. By holding the shot on the face, Spielberg suspends the narrative progression. The audience stops analyzing the plot and begins mirroring the physiological state of the actor. Technically, this is often achieved with a specific focal length that compresses the background, making the face feel intimate yet monumental. The lighting usually shifts to a God light, isolating the subject from their mundane reality. In Jurassic Park, before we see the Brachiosaurus, we see Alan Grant. The formal construction of the scene demands that we process the impossibility of the dinosaur through Grant's removal of his sunglasses. The prop usage emphasizes the unmediated gaze. However, this technique is not reserved solely for wonder. The reactive gaze is equally potent when calibrated for horror. The formal mechanism remains identical, only the context shifts. Take the dolly zoom on Chief Brody in Jaws. The technical distortion of the background, the track out combined with the zoom in, visualizes a psychological vertigo. It is a formal manifestation of internal panic. Critics might argue this is emotional manipulation, forcing the audience to feel rather than think. A Brechtian analysis would reject this immersion, but formalism embraces it. The purpose of the form here is total subjective synchronization. Unlike Hitchcock, who often used the gaze for voyeurism, making us complicit in a crime, Spielberg uses the gaze for participation. We are not watching the characters, we are becoming them. This creates a complication in authorship. Is the movie about the aliens and sharks, or is the movie actually about the human capacity to react to them? The visual evidence suggests the latter. Synthesizing these elements, we see that Spielberg's formal mastery lies in his control of the viewer's empathy. The slow push-in is a hypnotic induction. Without this reactive gaze, the spectacle would be hollow. It is the human face, framed tightly and lit perfectly, that sells the reality of the CGI dinosaur or the mechanical shark. The camera movement serves as a proxy for our own curiosity. As the camera moves closer to the character, we lean forward in our seats. The formal device bridges the physical gap between the theater seat and the screen. Therefore, the Spielberg style is not defined by the genre of adventure, but by the intimacy of observation. He visualizes the act of witnessing. In the end, Spielberg's films are mirrors. Through the formal precision of the reactive gaze, we do not just watch a movie, we watch ourselves watching the impossible.